This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 19th day of April in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. As the Public Utilities Commission is expected to face greater demand in the coming years, President Finale today recommitted the support of the government to the work of the body. Today, former Minister of Government Dr. Nanda Gopal was sworn in as the newest commissioner of the PUC. President Ali said the Public Utilities Commission must continue to look out for consumers, adding that the commission must also remain efficient.
They are expected to examine the services provided by public utilities, referring the social and economic welfare of consumers and ensuring the provision of quality and efficient services.
The PUC is tasked to regulate, investigate, and have enforcement under the PUC Act by the Guyana Energy Agency Act, the Electricity Reform Act, and the Telecommunication Act. The function allows the Commission to make rules that govern the utility sector. The Commission is also mandated to be the judge of the rates the companies charge, the services they offer, and to also scrutinize any program introduced by companies with the interests of the consumer and investor at heart. The government, the President said, will work to support the efforts of the PUC.
The government of Guyana is as committed to supporting the work of the PUC as it is to expanding and improving the quality of public services provided to citizens. The work of the PUC is expected to intensify as Guyana enters the new phase of its development, and which has already witnessed the liberalization of telecommunications sector, and plans are ahead for power generation and water supply, of boosting power generation and water supply.
GTT, GPL, Guyana Water Incorporated, and Digicel currently fall under the Public Utilities Commission. More news coming up in a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
All the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
At Sash Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sash Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
More employers are using social media to monitor employees. Here are some ways to maintain professionalism online. Never share confidential information about anyone, whether colleagues or clients. Do not share inappropriate posts from work gatherings. Keep company social media posts neutral. Never argue or make offensive comments. Never complain about your job to clients. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
You taste the cheese, you hear the crunch. Grab a zoomers and zoom into fun. And with the first taste, you feel like you don't want it done. Blast off to a whole new place with every single bite. The cheesy goodness bring your taste buds alive. So let's just zoom into fun with this wheel-shaped light. Zoomers, zoomers, zoom into fun.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
The third supply of the Sputnik COVID-19 vaccine arrived in the country today to further boost the government's nationwide vaccination program. The batch of 83,000 doses was purchased by the Guyana government. 43,000 of the doses will complement and complete the rollout of the first dose, while the remaining 40,000 will be for the rollout of the second dose. Guyana has ordered 400,000 doses of the Russian-made vaccine as the government aims to fully vaccinate 200 persons with that vaccine. The country has also received the Indian-manufactured Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine as well as the Chinese-made Sinopharm vaccine through several initiatives. The Health Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, today said the vaccines are going to come in tranches, and as they come, they will be made available. During today's COVID-19 update, he announced that more than 86,000 persons have already received their first dose of the vaccine to fight COVID-19.
As you know, we're using 3 different types of vaccine. We have the AstraZeneca vaccine, we have Sinopharm, and we have Sputnik V. With the AstraZeneca vaccine, whatever you use for the first dose, you have to use a similar vaccine for the second dose.
And the health minister also assured that there is no shortage in the second dose vaccines. He has said the government is securing vaccines for every Guyanese above the age of 18.
Our plan has been and continues to be that we are securing vaccines for every single adult in Guyana. So there would be a vaccine for every adult in Guyana. And while we secure the vaccine, it is still voluntary, so people can decide whether they want it or not. Of course, we would prefer that people come forward and get their vaccine because this is what is going to protect them.
And even as some persons remain skeptical about taking the vaccine, the health minister said it is voluntary for persons to take the vaccine. He said the benefits are many when it comes to fighting the pandemic. Opposition leader Joe Harmon has dispatched a letter to ExxonMobil country manager Alastair Routledge calling for an urgent meeting to discuss the faulty gas compressor aboard the Liza Destiny oil production vessel. The opposition leader wants to know the root causes of the equipment failure, which resulted in excess flaring and reduced production, as well as the company's plan to address the issue. Additionally, the opposition wants to be informed about the long and short-term economic and environmental impact of the problems on the country and oil production. The opposition said it has also taken note of a statement by Exxon that it has reduced oil production offshore Guyana by 90,000 barrels per day, putting the output to a mere 30,000 barrels per day. It is the view of the opposition that the malfunctioning of the equipment continues to delay the termination of excess flaring of produced gas, adding that a significant reduction of operations to bare minimum production level is also of concern. Exxon recently conducted the final testing phase of the reinstalled compressor on the Liza Destiny vessel, and an additional issue was discovered. The company has also expressed its disappointment by the design issues and continued on the performance of the compressor. In a statement today, Exxon said it will continue to be transparent about its operations with all stakeholders. It has acknowledged receipt of the letter from the leader of the opposition and will be responding. Opposition Member of Parliament and Shadow Home Affairs Minister Gita Chandan Edmond is questioning the establishment of the Guyana Police Force's Corporate Communications Unit. A few months ago, the Guyana Police Force announced the establishment of the unit, which is headed by former journalist Mark Ramatar and his deputy radio announcer Stan Gavaya. Now the opposition member of parliament wants the Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben to provide answers to the National Assembly about the unit and its establishment and work. Chandon Edmond has submitted her questions through Parliament, seeking clarity on the legality of the establishment of the unit. Specifically, she wants to know what standing orders of the Guyana Police Force provides for the establishment of the unit, or under which authority it was established. The opposition MP has also raised questions about the positions for director and deputy director, and whether those positions were publicly advertised. She also wants to know whether other civilians have been hired within the department. Additionally, the MP has questioned the roles of the director and his deputy, reminding that the force already had officers who were trained to perform public affairs duties. The opposition MP also wants to know the remuneration packages as well as the duties and responsibilities of the director and deputy director of the unit. The Public Relations Department of the Guyana Police Force has always been managed by senior police officers. While in the past the force hired private consultants for training of the ranks in the unit, the management of the PR department always remained under the guide of the senior police officers. Over the weekend, police investigators from the Major Crimes Unit of the Guyana Police Force arrested the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit officer who was caught on camera using his gun to hit an alleged smuggler during a GRA and canoe operation in Lethem. The investigators were dispatched to the border town to probe the incident after the video recording made the rounds on social media. The head of Canoe, James Singh, confirmed the arrest. Today he told a news source that the officer has since been released into the custody of Canoe. He is currently on desk duty as the matter is also being investigated by Canoe. The Canoe officer was arrested by the police on allegations of assault and discharging his loaded firearm. A few days ago, a joint operation by the Guyana Revenue Authority and Canoe led to the arrest of Lethem businessman Lyndon Franklin after he was nabbed with a large quantity of smuggled liquor and uncustomed goods. Before the arrest at the man's house and business place, Canoe officers were captured on camera scaling the locked gate and later forcing it open while the businessman objected. A confrontation between the businessman and Canoe ensued, and Canoe claimed that the man released his dogs on the agents. One of the agents fired a gunshot as one of the dogs advanced towards him. The businessman was later seen cursing at the agents and video recording them with his cell phone. As he approached the agent who fired the shot, the agent is captured on camera walking towards him and using his gun to hit the phone away. The businessman was arrested and later released on station bail. He reportedly filed a complaint against the Canoe officer after uploading the video recordings of the incident to social media. Sugar workers at the Albion and Blairmont estates picketed today while accusing the Guyana Sugar Corporation Guy Succo of ignoring their plight and their calls for improved wages and salaries. Last Friday, sugar workers from the Iflot estate returned to the picket line for the same issue. Like the workers at Iflot, the sugar workers at Albion and Blairmont made a single collective call on Guy Succo to address the long outstanding dispute in earnest. The sugar workers today said they are peeved that the sugar company remains silent on the issue about increasing their wages and salaries. The Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union today urged Guy Succo to return to the negotiating table with a view to having the matters settled. The protesting workers complain that while they are not unmindful of the corporation's situation, it appears that Guy Succo is neglectful of their plight. The workers said they are prepared to listen to any reasonable proposal from the sugar company, but noted that all they have been hearing is a deafening silence. Gawu today reminded that Guy Succo had promised to reach out to them by the end of March, but there has been no movement in that direction. They want the sugar company to indicate when it plans to return to the negotiating table to finalize the issue. Gawu is confident that an agreement could be reached. The Workers' Union has welcomed statements from the Minister of Agriculture that the government may seek to get involved in the situation to bring it to some closure. The workers in the union said they remain hopeful that the corporation can return to the bargaining table and return with clean hands.
University students, do you know who is seeing what you share online? Prospective employers, recruiters, and graduate schools often screen potential candidates before hiring or approving applications. Sharing inappropriate images or posts and using obscene language online can cost you dearly. Avoid paying the price. 1. Set your account to private. 2. Think twice before you share a post. 3. Get permission before posting details about others. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
I took the vaccine. My name is Gordon Mosley and I took the vaccine on Friday. And I'm encouraging you, if you've made the choice, go take the vaccine. Protect yourself against COVID-19. COVID-19 is no joke. I've been covering the story from day one and it scares me and it should scare you too. So there are vaccination sites all around. Go to the Ministry of Health's Facebook page, follow the information, keep your mask on and go take the vaccine. You'll be happy you did. Across the region tonight, Cuba's Communist Party has announced that Miguel Diaz-Canel will succeed Raul Castro as the party's first secretary. Mr. Diaz-Canel, who in 2018 succeeded Mr. Castro as the Cuban president, had been widely tipped for the arguably more influential post of party leader. The transition means that the island will be governed by someone other than Fidel or Raul Castro for the first time since the Cuban Revolution in 1959. Mr. Diaz-Canel is seen as loyal to the Castros and their economic model. Speaking on Friday, outgoing party leader Raul Castro said that he would hand over the leadership to a younger generation full of passion and anti-imperialist spirit. At age 60, Mr. Diaz-Canel is almost 30 years younger than his predecessor. It follows the announcement on Friday, on the first day of the party's 4-day Congress, that Raul Castro was stepping down from the key position of First Secretary. The 89-year-old had been in the post since 2011 when he took over from his older brother, Fidel Castro. Officials in St. Vincent are extremely worried about a COVID-19 outbreak given the lack of water and more positive cases being reported, as thousands of evacuees fleeing the erupting volcano crowd into shelters and private homes. About a dozen cases have been reported in recent days, with at least 5 evacuees staying in 2 homes and 1 shelter testing positive, exposing at least 20 people to the virus. The chief medical officer in the island said the officials are preparing to do massive testing as part of contact tracing, a complicated undertaking given that between 16,000 to 20,000 persons were evacuated before the volcano erupted. The official has urged persons to keep wearing their face masks and asked them to cooperate, noting that some who arrive at shelters do not want to be tested, which is voluntary. Complicating the efforts to fight COVID-19 is the lack of water in some communities, given the heavy ashfall. Several Caribbean countries have been offering help to St. Vincent at this time. And finally tonight, international news. The American Space Agency has successfully flown a small helicopter on Mars. The drone, called Ingenuity, was airborne for less than a minute, but NASA is celebrating what represents the first powered, controlled flight by an aircraft on another world. Confirmation came via satellite at Mars, which relayed the chopper's data back to Earth. The space agency is promising more adventurous flights in the days ahead. Ingenuity will be commanded to fly higher and further as engineers seek to test the limits of the technology. The rotorcraft was carried to Mars in the belly of NASA's Perseverance rover, which touched down on the red planet back in February. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Stay safe.